Full-site editing has been introduced in WordPress 5.9 and is gaining popularity ever since. When you're used to using a classic theme, full-site editing is a lot of getting adjusted and getting used to. For most people, full-site editing includes a site editor, global styles, block themes, and patterns. The site editor looks like this, and you can add all kinds of blocks anywhere you would like to. The site editor allows you to create pages, templates, menus, patterns, and template parts. Full-site editing also allows you to create a global site-wide style. In the global style, you can set a typography, the font family, and the font size. You can choose what kind of colors you would like to use, and you can create custom palettes. As of WordPress 6.2, you can also add custom CSS to your website. Full-site editing uses block themes, and the Greenshift theme is a block theme. With a block theme, you can use blocks and block patterns to create entire pages and websites. So everything you see on a page is a block. For instance, this is a header block, this is a paragraph block, and this is a button block. It can also include a site title, a logo, a navigation, post title, comment form, and many other things as well. Now, if you are a developer, the theme.json is something you could be interested in as well, but it's not part of this video. Now that we understand what full-site editing is, let's explore how you can use full-site editing using the Greenshift theme and plugin. Now, I do have to note, you don't necessarily need the Greenshift theme to use full-site editing, but it's what we use in this tutorial. So let's start off by installing Greenshift on a WordPress dashboard. Go to your WordPress website, then click to go to your dashboard. Once you're inside your WordPress dashboard, go to Plugins, press Add New Plugin. Here we're going to search for Greenshift, press Install Now, and press Activate. Now let's install the Greenshift theme. We go to Appearance, and then Themes, press Add New Theme, and we're going to search for Greenshift. Hover over the theme and press Install, and press Activate again. When you've installed the Greenshift block theme, you will be greeted with this page. This page allows you to start with the theme configuration. Now, this is recommended when you want to set up your website quickly or if you are new to full-site editing. So let's press Theme Configuration. First off, you can select your brand colors, the colors you would like to use for your website. Here you can set your primary color, your secondary color, your text on primary. So it's the primary text color that will be used with the secondary color or with the primary color. You have an option to select your secondary button color and your color of your text on the secondary button. Lastly, you have an accent color you can select. When changing a color, you can press the color and you will see a tooltip coming over it where you can select your color you would like to use. You can change all sorts of values. Now it's also possible to use the color picker. When you press the color picker, you see different kind of mouse. You can select any color on the current website, but also outside, for instance, in your toolbar or any other places if you'd like to. Let's select the primary color of WordPress. Next, you have layout width settings. Here you can set the layout width for the content, but also the wide width if you would like to change it. Next up is your site title and your site description. For instance, just another Greenshift website. You can also add your own custom logo and a favicon or site icon. The site icon will be shown in the browser. After you have selected your colors and set up everything you would like to have, you can click Save and Continue. Here you will be sent to the homepage settings. Now you can change the homepage template in the site editor, and we will be doing that later. You can also change and choose a custom page from the template library. When you click this option, you can select a page or you can create a new homepage. In here, you can press Templates and you can select the templates you would like to use. Now, some of the templates need additional add-ons and some of the templates don't need any additional add-ons. Let's select free in this case. When you hover over a template you would like to import, you press Import and will be imported directly on your website. In general, people change the homepage, the header pattern, and the footer pattern. The other pages are optional. You're also able to change the homepage by pressing the Edit Homepage button. You'll be redirected to the FSE homepage, but we will be going over this later in this video. And then you hit save and continue. Next, you can change your header. You can choose different kind of styles. For instance, the default header, a centered logo, a header with a search icon and a call to action button, a header that has 2 zones, a dark one, a header with a button, and a simple one. You can also look into templates to see if there's anything you'd like to see. Now the only one available in the templates is this one, and it needs the query add-on and the WooCommerce add-on. Let's add the header with the search icon. Hit save and continue again to go to the next step. In the next step, we'll be able to select a custom footer. A footer is at the bottom of your website, and you have different kind of designs you can pick from. I like the mega footer, so I will select that one. And again, you have an option to look into the templates if there's a footer of your liking. If you are pleased with the one you have selected, hit save and continue. To make things easier, you can add extra pages you would like to have on your website. For instance, a blog page, a contact us page, a price page, a theme page, product comparison results pages, and a wishlist page. The last two require you to have the WooCommerce add-on and a query add-on. When you're pleased with your selection, press save and continue again. Next up is selecting templates for the extra pages you have selected. In this case, I can change the template of our blog posts. You can do also the other changes for the other templates. I will just click one I like, press save and continue again if you're pleased with your selection. Now that you are done with setting up the full site editing and have some basic settings already set, usually you would like to add some custom fonts. To add custom fonts, you have 2 places where you can install it. You can use the site editor, but it's not optimized yet. We recommend you to upload your font. If you would like to install your Google font, you have to go to the Google Fonts website. In Google Fonts, we highly recommend you to select a variable. A variable font is a font that contains one file with all different font variants. For instance, bold, italic, and all other kinds of settings. To download a font, choose your font of your liking, press Get Font, and press Download All. You will get a zip file, and when you extract the zip file, you will see your fonts. Now we can go back to Greenshift, add a name, and from the options, we have to select the TTF font file option. Press Choose File, press Open Sans, and then select your font. Press Open and hit Save. Now you've added your font family to your Greenshift website. When you want to use your installed font, we recommend you to check the box besides Font Preloaded. This way you can set it in global elements and it will always be loaded and showing up. Save again. Now you have successfully installed your font. Now that our branding is complete, let's explore the full site editor. Go to Appearance and then press Editor. When you enter the full site editor, you will see this. On the right hand side, you will have a preview of your website, and on the left, you have your navigation. You have your navigation options, which is your menu. You have styles you can change. You can have an overview of your pages. Here are all the templates, and here you have patterns. In patterns, you have template parts. Template parts exist out of header and a footer. So the header we just selected and the footer we just selected. In the theme settings, patterns are predefined sections made available for you from the blog theme. And as you can see, they really look amazing. In templates, you can change the templates that are available. For instance, the archiver template that shows all the posts that you have added already. You have the blog home page, which is the home page. You have the index, and the index is the fallback template for pages when there's no specific template selected. Then you have the 404 page, a template for search results, pages, and this is a static template for the page where the page itself will be viewed. Let's change our pages template. You can press the preview on the right hand side to open it. You will be greeted by this pop-up model that gives you an understanding on what you can do right here. You can press Get Started. Now to have an overview of what's on the page, you can press this staircase. It will show you what's on the page right now. So the purple ones are template parts that we have added ourselves. Those are reused in this template. Another part of a template is this page title area. As you can see, there are two groups. If we open up the settings panel on the right hand side, you see that there's a layout setting. Here you can set if blocks will use the content width set in here or in the theme. This allows you to add a different kind of layout and different kind of width wherever you feel fit. In the other group block, there's also content in there that has the same setting. When using templates, it's highly recommended to either use a group or a content block and have enabled the inner block use content width at least for one of those. Let me show you what happens if this is not enabled. First, let's go back to our dashboard and go to a page, and let's add a new page. Within the page, let's add, for example, a row. And here you see that there's a setting available. You can set some kind of width. Let's save this as draft and go back to our template. Let's click the content and disable this toggle button for inner blocks use content width and hit save twice again. Now, if we refresh our page, you will notice the setting is gone. If you like to be able to change the width of your container, rows or sections, so you need to enable the inner block use content width toggle at least for the group or the content block. And as you can see, it's now back again. One good thing to know as well is that you can create category specific templates. Let's show an example. You go back to the dashboard, you add a category, for instance, tutorials, and press add new category. Then we go back to Freelance Editor. Within our templates, you press the plus icon, you select category archives, and you select category for a specific item. You can select which category it is. In our case, tutorials. You can pick a pattern and you can change those specifically for the category tutorials. Now, if you'd like to, you are able to add different kind of header parts inside a pattern. If you have some kind of landing page or a category page, you can change the header. So what you would do is go back to your full site editor, then go to patterns, then go to header, and in here, create a template part. We'll select the area of header and we call it no navigation. We hit create and here you make changes to your, for instance, we only want to show the site title. We hit save, we go back templates and we'll be creating a new template for our pages. For example, our sample page, we pick a pattern. We can remove the existing header and add before the group a template part and then we hit choose and then we select no navigation. That's the one we have created. This way you can create different kind of navigations for different kind of pages. But if you don't want any header in here, you can just remove it. If you would like to, there are templates available as well in here. You go to Greenshift helpers and select templates. Here you have an overview of all the templates available from the Greenshift library. When you find something you would like to import, you can just hit import and it will be added to your template. Do know, every template that uses a page will see this section. If you only want this to be viewed on one page, you have to add it to a page and not to a template. Let's remove it for now and let's go back. You can see there's also some custom templates already available for you. For instance, a page without a title or a blank template. When you want to exit the editor, you can press the WordPress icon and press leave. You're also able to change templates of the pages. Let's open up a page, for example, the sample page. Press the close button because I don't need the explanation of block editor. If you would like to have some explanation on how it works, you can go through this setup. Now, if we view this page, you will see it shows the title. But not every time you would like to have the title be shown. So you can change that by pressing pages and then hit swap template. Here you can select a different kind of page. For example, the page without title. And if we press update and view the page again by refreshing, you will see that our page title is now gone. This is a very easy way to use page templates. Next, let's change our menu. Press edit site. Then you will be redirected to the full site editor. Then open up the full site editor by clicking on the preview. And here we can edit the navigation. So let's change it real quick. I would like to add another page. So we can edit a page inside here. We press the plus icon and then we type in our preferred new page. And as you can see here, we don't have a contact page, so you can create a draft page for contact. And when you do that, it will automatically create a page, a new page without any content, and we'll set it in draft. So this is a very easy way to create your pages. Now, if you would like to add an icon for visibility or just to support the text, you can do that by clicking the new item, put your cursor at where you want the image to appear. Then you press more and you select inline image. Then you can select your file, for instance, this solid house, and we press open and we'll select, and now you have your icon in there as well. And you can change the width of the icon, perhaps something like this, or even smaller like this would look nice. And this is how you can add images or icons inside your navigation. If you would like to do some more styling, that's also possible. You go to the right hand side, you have styles. You can create a accent button, select primary, secondary, or primary 3D colors. Those are settings that are already available. You can also change everything within the navigation. There you go, one place back, select your navigation as you can see, and then go to styles. Here you can select different kind of colors. You can add a background color if you'd like to. Now, I don't feel that those needs to be changed, but at least that there is a possibility. For example, red. You can also change the typography, and you have more options when you hover over the typography options. It's the three dots in here, and here you have different kind of options if you would like to change the typography itself. You can also add some padding to all the navigation items and make the width change as well. Now, you're also possible to have some kind of advanced changes. For instance, making your header sticky. It's something that's very common in modern day designs. You go to your group inside your header, you go to advanced, and in advanced you can toggle on the sticky to head on scroll. You can also toggle on sticky only on scroll up. So when you're scrolling up, then it's when the menu is getting sticky. Now, if we hit save, we view the website, and you will scroll down, you don't see that the navigation item is gone. And if you scroll up, it will show your navigation. You can also create a drop down menu. When you press the item where you want to have to drop down, you can select this icon. It will add a submenu, and within the submenu you can add different kind of pages. As you can see here, now we have a custom link, but it can also be a page. The best way to add a submenu is through the navigation on the right hand side. So here we have a overview of our menu. We press to add another block, we add a custom link, and then you can drag it in place. This way you can add a lot of submenus. It's also possible to create a mega menu. Now, to create a mega menu, we need to have a reusable template. So let's create that one. We hit save. We press the WordPress icon. We press the WordPress icon again to go back to our dashboard. We go to reusable templates. Now, reusable templates is only available when you have installed Greenshift or have some kind of code snippet turned on where you can show your reusable templates. For our mega menu, let's create one. So we add a new pattern. We call this pattern mega menu, and we toggle on synced because we want to have this pattern synced across all usages. So if it's used somewhere else, it still looks and feels the same. Now, I've already designed a mega menu, so I will be using that one. We can paste it in. Basically, it's a row with two columns, and in the first column there's a advanced text field with TV, and there's a list where you have list items. You can also put something else in there, for instance sound with the icon list, and you have your icon list items in here as well. You actually can go nuts with anything you would like to add in here. Then we hit publish, then go to view patterns. We go to appearance editor, then you go to templates, and for instance in this case we go to pages, and we change page on the right hand side. So you click twice on the item where you would like to add the mega menu, then you create add submenu. Then you can scroll down and use mega menu for sub items. You can use columned menu, and then it will stay inside of the navigation. You can have columned menu from right. If you have a sub menu and then have a sub menu in there, it will be opened on the right side of the sub menu, and you can have a full width menu, as you can see right here. But we would like to have a columned menu. We can change the width of the sub menu, the padding, margin, And here we select the template we would like to use. So for this case, mega menu, and we would like to create a sub item for it. So as you can see, now it's added. And if we look in our sidebar, we have now a placeholder for our mega menu. And if we open up our preview by clicking view site, we can see that our submenu is loading and there's a submenu. Now this isn't the best design, but it will get the idea across, I hope. Now you also notice that the contact item isn't available in the front end of the website, while we do see it in the dashboard. And that's because the contact page is still in draft. When we publish contact, it will show up in our navigation automatically as well. Here we have our word mark, but what if we would like to add our logo in there? We can just add afterwards, add site logo. And in here you can upload or pick your logo, hit select, and now your logo has been added. You can change the position, hit save, and when if you view it on the website, you will see that our logo has been added. Now that you have a basic understanding on where to find things and how you can adjust things, one very important thing to know as well is how to change the styles and where to do so. Although you have a style in Gutenberg itself, where you can pick the colors, we advise to use the Greenshift stylebook. You can find it with Greenshift, and then when you press stylebook, you have your Greenshift stylebook. And you need to hit create to create one. And in here you can change the global elements, for instance, your heading, settings, if you would like to have a red heading by default, or change the font size, or even the font family, like adding a custom font like we did earlier. You are able to select those. You also have the option to adjust the theme colors from the Greenshift theme, or add your own color presets, or add gradient presets. Now this can be any color you would like to, and when you hit save, it will save it to the database. If you use Figma, Greenshift also offers a stylebook export plugin. With Figma Stylebook for WordPress, this plugin allows you to import font colors, heading sizes directly from Figma. Next, let's talk about best practices as well. You can set some variables, and what variables allows you to do is create reusable settings. For instance, we can create a variable label named size M, add a variable named size M again, and the value is a size of 1 EM. So when using this variable, it will be changed everywhere. And when you've entered the variable, you need to hit save. And it will save to the database. In our spacing, which is available in the quick toolbar, you have margin. And when you hover over the top section, you have the ability to press a little down icon. It's not very visible, but it's there. And when you press the arrow, you have variable presets available. You can select it, and it will automatically set the value of this variable to the top side, which is this one. This makes it easier for every place where you use the variable size M and want to change the spacing because the screen's getting bigger, for example. You can change it in one place, hit save again, and will be updated on every place where the variable is used. And as you can see, the spacing is 2 times larger now. You also have some classes available. There are no classes set as of yet. You can add a class name, for example, heading block. This is for a container, and we hit add new. And in here we see the container, and we can add all kinds of things to the padding block class. Similar to variables, everywhere where we use the class padding -block, it will be changed to whatever we set in here. For our top to size medium, and for our bottom size medium. And if we hit save, it will update in a database. And when we look into refresh our page, select our container, and look for our classes, we have a class called padding block. And when we select it, it will add a class, and the padding on top and bottom will be added. Now there are also some other changes you can make. You can, for instance, make the default background color red, or maybe a darker shade of gray. And when we hit save, it will update in a database. Now, every instance where the padding block class is used will be updated. So If we want to add the same to this row, we again go to our block classes, add padding block, hit update, and when we view the page, you will see it gets the same heading on the top and bottom, and also the same background color. Now this isn't immediately reflected in the Gutenberg editor, and this can be fixed by pressing refresh. And now you see that this one is light gray as well. There are presets like padding and classes and variables already available from WordPress core. And you can find them if you go to typography and you press this blue setting. It will use settings that are already predefined for the typography, for colors, and also for spacing. We recommend using a class-first workflow. This will help you a lot. When you make one change, it will change on the whole website. For instance, your homepage, you need to go click on it, go to background, and change the color. You could scroll down, you search for the next button, and you change that one as well to the new color you would like to have. And you scroll down. As you can see, it can get very tedious at a given point. Well, using a class, it will allow you to change all the buttons on whole website in one go. So that is the advantage of using a class-first workflow. Besides using classes, you can also set a default styling or any block. For instance, I like the look of this button and I want every button to look the same. So we can set current style as default for block. When we press that and we hit save, it will be applied to whole the website. Now, if we add another button, you will see it will have the default styling. If we hit update and refresh the page, you will see that the styling is now also on the button we just added. But what if we would like to have a different kind of design for this page? For example, we would like the text to be white. We can copy the style attributes as well to our other button, and then we can paste the style attributes. And as you can see, it will change the color of the typography in this case, or do any other changes you have done to the other button as well. Now we can delete this one and make the text black again and hit update. Now, if you dislike the styling, you can also clean the custom defaults you have set, and it will revert back to the typical design. Now let's get into the spacing we have with the default Gutenberg blocks. When we add a group and we give it a color, for instance, we give it a color of black, and we duplicate the group and give it a different kind of color, you see that there's some kind of spacing going on over here. Now, this isn't the case when we use the row from Greenshift. If we add, you can see there's no spacing there. And we can verify that by adding a background color, for instance, purple. And if we add a section, it's also not the case. So we can add another background, for instance, red. As you can see, there's no spacing between those two and those two, but there's spacing between those sections, but also a lot of spacing inside of a group. Now we can show that really quickly by adding a paragraph. Let's give it a white color so that it shows up properly. So let's duplicate those a few times that we can see the amount of padding it has by default compared to the Greenshift ones. And when we hit update, we can view the page. And here we have the different kind of settings. You see a spacing between those two Gutenberg groups, and you don't see that with the row and the section from Greenshift. There's always some kind of spacing in the WordPress core blocks. It's just a good thing to know. Another good thing to know is having some settings in the interface. If we go back to our dashboard and then go to our Greenshift and then settings, we have a tab called interface settings. And interface settings make some quality of life changes. For instance, the support of the core framework, utility classes, disable anchor generations on headings, remove the column padding inside of a row. You can also set the dark accent UI for block panels. You can also set a priority of element blocks that will be inserted. So would it be the element blocks, or would it be the regular blocks, or wouldn't be there any difference at all? There's also a way to set the default unit of measurements, default unit of values. You can select pixels, EM or REM. Changing this one makes a lot of sense because some people like to use REM as the default unit of measurement. And this makes it easier to not change the value every time you would like to add a value in there. Now the last option is to automatically close the local style option in Elements.